feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp tank.
Welcome back, everybody. We had a great show today with Justin Smith from Robertson Truck Group. Awesome journey that Justin's been on, and have known him for a long time. So it was neat to hear that in completion and sort of see it brought to life in the podcast. But one of the things that we really talked about was people, process, product, lifestyle, basically working together for one another for a bigger purpose than just the company, but for the life that you lead with one another and with your family. But that sort of leads into, John, your first question.
Yeah. So, Justin, we talked about you right out of school, you started at Cintas, big corporation, you were in a management training program. What were some of the things from that program that served you when you made the entrepreneurial leap?
Well, I think anytime you're a young leader, it boils down to what you're going to have to give back more than you receive, right? More a servant leadership style. And for me, it was really learning more than I was teaching at the time. Being a young leader, having direct reports that, from an age perspective, were older than me, I had I had two ears and one mouth for a reason. So I spent a lot of time listening, and I learned a lot from those individuals. So my mentorship was really unconventional because I was learning from those that reported to me at the time. So that was a big takeaway for me through that program.
No, that's great. And I think that one of the things that surprised me so much was just there was a risk to be taken, leaving Cintas, being in a great position, young family. I think that having 3 younger kids and making a decision like that to change your career can be scary for some people, let alone if they didn't. So when you got to that point, I know you said you worked with the team at Robertson, over the course of the year to make sure things made sense. But what was the catalyst that you're like, what, I'm just going to do this? Was it a conversation you had with Danielle, or like how did that transpire?
There were several variables, but I think the defining moment or the epiphany was drawing back to something I learned before I started my career. And that was define happiness when you have nothing. So at the time, when you make that definitive, kind of etch it in stone, this is what I want it to look like: a family, a car, a house, the ability to enjoy life. That milestone I accomplished it. And the one missing piece was that family part. It was just my wife and my 3 children in Indianapolis, and I can tell you to this day, we made friends that are family today, but the grandparents and aunts and uncles and the family dynamic, which I grew up with, I didn't want my children to miss that experience. So ultimately it led us back home. So
that's great.
And so you made that move. You came into a smaller organization that had been family owned and family operated. And you came in you came in hard. You came in hot, we said. How did you get buy-in from the people that were already there, from the existing team members, to make this a successful transition?
Well, I think first of all, I had to listen with compassion, not act on it. I had to understand where they currently were, how they felt about the business, how they felt about their work environment, and I had to listen and drew back from my experiences as an early leader, because I think those are sometimes the most valuable lessons, not only in business but in life. So I needed to genuinely care about what they cared about. I had to understand what motivated them, what inspired them, and what was important to them. And then I had to, with a sense of purpose, show them that I truly care about you as a person. Because as a professional, people come and go. But people, as a person, they needed to feel like you're just not a number on a roster. You're just not an employee. So that's one of the reasons why we coined all our employees team members, because without a team, without that structure, it's hard to accomplish your goals. And these are shared responsibilities that we all had at the time. So,
well, Justin, we really appreciate you coming in to the Shrimp Tank today. It was a great conversation. I really encourage everyone to go wherever they get their podcasts and check this episode out. We're on Apple, we're on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, things I haven't even heard of. We're on them. So go check it out.
As you always say, smash that like button.
You got to smash the like button, subscribe to this channel, get those notifications turned on so you know when we do have a new episode out. Because, guys, we're coming in hot every week. I mean, these episodes are just, people are dropping knowledge, and you don't want to miss out. So for Phil and myself, Justin, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks to everyone for listening, and we'll see you next week.
I've been feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp tank.